Hello again, friends and fans. Raptor here. You're back, and that's good because it's time to crunch them at Chuncheon. We're going to go ahead and make sure these red bastards don't get past here. The multi-role squadron and the 101st Tank Regiment and the 3rd Anti-Air Company stand against us, and we need to defend this 10-point sector as much as possible. We also have some other units that we can bring up to Wanju. Here the Armor Regiment can move up. We're going to make sure we do that. So we can defend ourselves in future attacks, or, well, their attacks against us should be held back by this. We're going to also send over some Yeong, how would you say this? Jaegong Ho. We did lose a few of them, I believe, from a previous attack, but we need them now against these A-51s, which, by the way, have cluster munitions, which would wreak havoc on our tanks. So we need to make sure we can defend with those. We're going to push everything forward, and it's going to be more and more important now to make sure that 567 Marine Regiment doesn't make it to Seoul, and of course all of this huge steaming pile of, well, communism. It's going to come down into Seoul, and we want to make sure that stops. So every once in a while when I play, you guys will see that I don't move units, and then after a battle or two, then I start to move them. So kind of get used to that. We also have our naval points to spend as well, and I'd probably, at this point, it'd probably be best for us to move back to Naval Sector Juliet. You'd probably suggest for me not to move back and maybe stay up here so we can provide further air support. Especially since we have, I think the naval forces, yes, we can call out the Nighthawks, which do have the Maverick missiles, or the Bulldogs, which are also multi-role bombers. So actually we could stay next door and help support at Chuncheon. So we may as well give them the best of the best support. The trouble is, if we call in any units from back here at the bottom, we're going to have to drive them all the way up top. And I'm actually at this point, I'm not exactly sure what the enemy's going to do, but we may as well move up with some of our forces, and we can always pull them back. We also have some additional bombers that we can move up and assign at the Dosen't position here, so we should do that now to bring up more frontline support for these troops. This is the Dragonfly, which does have the Snake Eye and Rock Eye bombs, so a real mean beast there. Plus it even has some missiles on it. I should remember that I can move these up as well, so we're going to give extra security for the airport just in case there's something sneaky they try. No helicopters spotted yet, except for these, but I'm assuming these special forces are going to stay with the main force and not flank, and that marine landing craft could do some damage. So far they've crossed into South Korea and have done some damage, but we're going to try to push them out and consolidate around Seoul if possible, due to the fact that it has that naval landing sector, and that will keep them far away from us, and we'll call up some reinforcements as well. Okay, so with that said, let's go ahead and call out some extra goodies. Let's get some of our aircraft out. I don't expect the Enterprise to be messed with now that we have the full advantage, other than a few units here possibly. The Nighthawks would be good to call out, but even better is the Harriers. They're a 60-point bomber, and against units such as the anti-tank companies and the infantry regiment, we're going to really score. And so let's go ahead and bring them out then. And we can even bring them against the enemy at Chuncheon, and those T-72s definitely need to be crunched. And we also have anti-aircraft weapons as well, so we should definitely have this sector right quick. I wonder actually if we can assign these aircraft to Dosen't. Even though they're carrier aircraft, I'm wondering if we can assign them to an airport as well. I'm not sure on that. But anyway, since this is the pending battle, let's make sure we win it. We can also send some additional forces to Seoul, and I'm wondering if we can actually deploy units from Seoul. I'm assuming everything has to be deployed towards the bottom of the map, because that's pretty much how these usually go. No reinforcements from there. Oh, Armored Battalion. Oh, we don't have enough points for that. 50 points on the Armored Battalion. Everything else is going to have to be called out from the 3 positions southernmost South Korea, most developed, safe, furthest away from the enemy, so it does make sense. We have a fighter squadron, an attack squadron, and the attack squadron, which is rockets, bombers, the peace peasant, yeah right, I'm gonna blow up some peasants with these peaceful bombs, and also some fighters. Now keep in mind the enemy, they actually do have some MiG 23 MLs, which are pretty okay, actually. They're not the best, but they could really do some good damage against us if we're not careful. But it's time for us to be careful. If we do lose this airport, by the way, well, we can't lose any other airports. So maybe we should think about spending or maybe saving some of our points. I'm not sure, but we'll do whatever we can to hold Seoul and hopefully bring up these tanks and block the enemy. There's a lot of pending moves, I suppose, so maybe we should start buying what's more affordable. I'm not sure. Maybe the escort flotilla. Actually, maybe we could move that escort flotilla to Naval Sector Delta and capture that for additional points, and also that also would cut off the enemy from moving around there. They do have some pretty scary forces, though. I believe these are primarily they are Chinese, so they have the Jiangju 3, which is a pretty good fighter, and the Ludicrouses, which are crazy. That's what ludicrous literally means. Meanwhile, we can fight them with our escort flotilla, which is pretty much Pohangs and Donghaes, which are not too bad, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and go with the naval force there and move that towards that direction. I also want to make sure that Naval Sector Foxtrot is defended against any, I don't know, this force could come down. Anything could happen, I'm not sure. But I'm thinking Seoul is their target, and we need to make sure we hold that to the last man. We could save additional points, but I think the most important thing at this point is probably going to be additional troops, and these Marines, the infantry. Well, I guess they're not Marines, but oh, then again, maybe they kind of are. They do have PZF 3s, which can they have 70% accuracy, and these are bad boys that we're definitely going to want out. Unfortunately, they only come in the regular transports, but we also have recoilless rifles and SAMs. So these are really, really good against enemy vehicles and enemy infantry as well. So let's get those 25-point units out and get them moving up towards Gwangju, and then Daejeon, and then Seoul. All right, well, let's start that battle there. Let's see if this isn't overkill. We are pretty even with the enemy here, and we kind of have them surrounded at Kaesong. So hopefully we can hold against them. They'll be pushing forward, and they probably will have more morale points than we do. Again, if you enjoy this, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and do please tell a friend. We greatly appreciate that, me and the rest of the Rat Pack. Check out Bolt Sauce, as well as he plays through it, and other YouTubers. I'm assuming Jack and Little Tin God may be playing this as well. Maybe not, but be sure to give them your attention and your likes. Alright, we have Seoul, Delta, Echo, and Sokcho. Not so important to defend these areas with no points whatsoever, but it is important to defend the Seoul marker as it has points. Why would you ever put in units here? It would be good to flank from up here if possible, but no need to actually hold that position. Alright, we'll hold at Delta though, and we'll hold at Echo. We will need the additional income. It does get a little spendy to just hold with heavy armor like that, but we're going to have to do it. We do have Air Force with us as well, and we'll have to shoot down the enemy Air Force. The BIHO, as we learned in the what campaign was that? The Russian campaign? I believe these are very good killers, or maybe I'm thinking of the gun tank. But autocannons are real killers now, so keep an eye out for those. We are going to be against some real evil tanks from the Soviets, so we do want to make sure, or well, they're North Korean, but the T-72Ms, that's a mean beast. And we'll keep a command back here. Recon will be important to see what's coming, though we're very light on that. And if we can get to this, now we only have Mistrals. I was fantasizing about some sort of armored defense, but lols, of course, that'll never happen. T-72Ms are going to have to be stopped by a large number of our own tanks to slow them down, and then a large number of aircraft to blow them up. We're going down and then up with that. Alright, we've got tanks galore, though, that we can spend. It's really like the Japanese campaign all over again. And we're leaving a tank here undefended, which is unacceptable. So we'll go ahead and rebudget. This is like budgeting. This is kind of fun. Get to set up your defenses, see where you want them to be best at. The enemy will break through at some point. I mean, that's just the way it's going to be. They do have a high amount of morale points as well, but we do have a really good weapon on our side, the AV-8A Harrier and the Jeochong Ho, which are both good fighters and both good. Well, I mean, they're good for the price, so at least we can hope for the best. hopefully the enemy aircraft, if we call them out, come over this way, and they'll run right into our forces. I actually am thinking perhaps it would be best to get rid of maybe these tanks here. We will need some extra supply for that Harrier, or for the Hawk there. And supplies are really only good if you have some sort of infantry to supply, but we really don't have anything, so that'll give us some extra points towards buying an aircraft. Alright, here we go. Launch the battle. Nothing we really have to deploy. That's kind of nice. Cargo trucks not really hidden yet. KAF 90. Gonna move that ahead. We could possibly see some enemy movement from here. Oh, here we are. We already got it. Large column of enemy tanks. T-72M's already spotted. Gonna have to keep an eye on them. These aircraft will drop 500 kilograms standard bombs, so at least that'll cause some distraction. We have a lost line of sight on that, and they're steamrolling straight through to possibly the Seoul marker. And bombs away on one Harrier, and it looks like there's a gun vehicle, gun AA, crazy amount. Actually taking down one of those Harriers, probably both gone. Type 80 SPAAG, very effective. Times 3. We're going to want another one of those, and another Harrier. Oh, beautiful. The aircraft did come in on top of us. Okay, we did retaliate with a kill. T-72Ms are stunned. They're going around to try to kill that command. They're trying to bypass. Really good kill with that tank. Harriers are going to save our ass more than once now. In that previous British campaign, they were fantastic. And now the Harriers are going to show their worth again. They're going to at least fly past the enemy and totally not acknowledge them, which is what you definitely want. If anything, though, we did lure out the enemy for some air-to-air or air-to-ground kills. Alright, so it's really tense here with those T-72Ms. They are fantastic fanatical fighters, and they're going to hold pretty effectively. Even when they're panicked, they still do have a lot of armor, though they've taken a real beating. And our tanks have actually done a really good job at stopping them. We've lost an unacceptable number of Harriers, though, and we did also lose that Hawk, which is unfortunate, but I guess it happens. When you're against that number of tanks speeding at you, you should probably be a little lighter on yourself, though. That kind of thing is hard to stop, and that's really what a lot of players take advantage of, both AI and human. We're closer to being even with the enemy now in points, and they could possibly call out additional aircraft on us now if we counterattack, and that's going to be very difficult without infantry. Obviously I want to do it, but I'm going to be very limited in my attacks without infantry. We only have Mistrals on our side. We need tank columns to go up into their Grillo, but it's going to be very difficult to do so. Here comes the cluster, secondary. And they're just going to murder these Korean tanks. We're going to want to hold in a defensive position. Beautiful guess there, killing 2 T-72Ms. And a recon vehicle over here. Gone. Seoul is pretty exposed, possibly. Could go look for a command there. M48s are real good tanks, actually, against these T-72s. They're what caused us a giant pain in the previous campaigns as well, but now they're on our side. And in great numbers comes great killability. I think Batman said that once. Alright, we have 4 T-72Ms that are panicked. These, wow, even though they were panicked, just immediately deleted from the map. We do have additional tanks ready, though. We'll have that cargo pull back. And we'll have some of these tanks come up to hold. We do see additional T-72s. SPAAGs, remember, are around. We're going to try to drop bombs on them. And these numbers, not going to be able to hold against those as easily. Maybe time to leave. Okay, Harriers have been stunned. Time to get out of there. Oh, there's the SPAAGs. Another Harrier destroyed just out of nowhere, it seems. Sometimes they just seem to get killed without even without you ever being able to see what's hitting them. But I'm glad we did call in an extra number of weapons systems to fight the enemy with. We're going to rush into Seoul now to see if we can cut off a command. Alright, we're going to call out the rest of our tanks and see what we can do. Leaving this command out is real dumb, but we do need the income. And the enemy seems to have hauled ass out of Seoul. Or at least they're debating whether or not they want to leave. Okay, we do have a swarm of T-72Ms. Damn it, let's just wait for them to come to us. They're going to pin us against the wall, but they're not going to actually come through the door. Yep, T-72Ms have spotted the command. Alright, the Chimana host CV is escaping. Damn, that Harrier did not fire as it was supposed to. Now again, this is the enemy's pretty premier attack. One more unit destroyed and it's all over. That's it for us. That's probably going to be a major defeat. And that it is. No real major losses reported, though. However, the enemy did lose half of its heavy tank force, which will slow down that steamroller. And that is the end of that turn. Okay, I think we'll roll again then. See what we can get in this next turn. The enemy will put extra pressure on Seoul, and we will not be able to bring reinforcements yet. It's really a real big shame that we weren't able to hold back those T-72s. But this is the 101st with heavy tanks, and those tanks are real good fighters. And, you know, we brought in everything we could against them, but that's just the way it's going to be for now. We'll end the turn, and it seems Air Command to U.S. Forces Korea, the SR-71 Blackbirds of the 9th Reconnaissance Wing have been redeployed in Okinawa. They're launching their first observation flights. From now on, we are your eyes. Understood. Alright, so, oh, it looks like we're able to see what the enemy has now, at least over North Korea minus Wosan. And it looks like all the pressure's being put on. We're detecting 2 helicopter-borne enemy regiments over the Yellow Sea. The North Koreans want to circle your defenses by attacking from the coast. Our forces run the risk of being taken from the rear. Over. Alright, we have also identified Russian T-90s in the midst of several North Korean units. One of these units is crossing the border as we speak. These tanks are superior to anything we have in Korea right now. Alright, so that's probably going to be the Battle of Seoul. And my god, is this going to be a battle. Naval Sector Charlie and Ongjin are going to be held by the enemy. And this is going to be one hell of a fight. Chuncheon is going to be next. And it looks like the enemy's even pushed into 1G here with just a few units defending. We might be able to hold against this. The K1 fighting against T-55s, and hopefully there's not... let's just see quickly. What vehicle is this? Oh, okay, they don't actually have... oh, okay, yes, they do have this Susong Po, which I'm not very afraid of for that, but anyway, famous last words. No reinforcements yet because we have to fight the enemy's turn. So, the battle for Seoul begins. Here we go. Now, you know, obviously according to campaign, I mean, clearly they're recreating the First Korean War, so the enemy will be able to easily push past a lot of what we have, even if we have superior numbers. They still have superior morale. Look at this. No matter how good I played this, how the hell would I beat 740 to 3650? It's going to be an extremely difficult fight, and we really don't have anything to actually do the fight with. Now, I could retreat from the area, but I'm not going to do that. I want to delay the enemy as long as possible and make it as difficult as possible to get through these sectors. Now, we only have a few 106 millimeters. This is going to be crazy. There's going to be a crazy amount of stuff coming at us. I can just tell. We don't really have the infantry we need to support this area. We don't really have the tanks we need to have support in this area. We may be able to get behind and crush commands, but that's very unlikely. The enemy is a lot smarter than that. And by that I just mean they always just have tons of units on patrol in the back, and there's really not much you can do to get around those since they're always on patrol. And the enemy always kind of knows where you're at, so there's no sneaky there. Alright, we'll put our FOB in the back then. Actually, we probably won't even need that. We're not going to call in artillery. If anything, we can retreat out of Seoul, and that's going to be the last option, but it's still something we're probably going to have to do at some point. This recon's going to have to be our only line of defense, I think. And I'm not sure if they'll have any naval presence here, but there's nothing we can do to defend against it either. So you can see we're under an immense amount of pressure here. I'm assuming, you know, obviously the game's trying to make us be pushed all the way back to Seoul, and then eventually, you know, they're either going to surround us, take Seoul, and we'll have to take it back. There's no question about that. We actually do have some better recon units here, but all things in moderation. KAF V 90's not too much of a threat against some of the things that might be coming at us, but if we're going to lose recon, we may as well leave some behind. I don't want to take those big of losses. So we're going to try to minimize our losses and maximize enemy casualties and move on from this area. Unfortunately, we're fighting a very mobile battle, and the enemy is probably going to be more mobile than us for the first few turns, and then it's our time to kick ass back. Now, obviously, American forces are probably on the way back. There's no way that they're actually going to just, you know, let a carrier sink off the coast of South Korea, and so there'll be much more of an American presence here soon, which is good because that means more vehicles for us to play with and to defend with and to attack with, and that's really what we need here against all the numbers of tanks. I made a mistake there in unloading my recons a little early, but I really don't think they're going to last too long. I'm going to try to sneak by enemy units up into the woods there. Okay, we do see some enemy vehicles here. Going to drop off. Okay, Bang Chosu here, moving along. Enemy tank movements, possibly. Going to try to move from house to house, keeping an eye on that mini-map. Susong Po. And there we go, TO-55s. Looking at that recon, there's the enemy's recon. A million flamethrowers and everything else, that group's eliminated. Even if we, look at that, so there's blob, blob, and then, oh wow, look at that, actual good kill there. Bombers coming in, flamethrowers. Wow. Alright, we're able to get around, so we may be actually fighting against, I'm going to try to let these recon go all the way around, but we're probably going to be fighting against enemy navy at some point. I'm assuming they have some sort of naval-based units somewhere. All right, we're gonna put these 40 millimeters or 106 millimeters around, trying to slow down the enemy. Keep in mind, if you call out groups of 4, they deploy much faster, and tows are going to be kind of worthless unless we keep them in the back. So this is the block. The left side and the right side's pretty much fallen already. We just need to wait for the enemy to swallow up all the land first. And if they get spread out, which is unlikely, they will be in a precarious situation. May as well put some recon with these ATGMs now. Better defend them. This will be our sector for a last stand. Looks like enemy was able to detect our recon squadron. And F5's just immediately nuclear bombed it. That's why I usually never use recon in these single players. A lot of the times, once the computer sees it coming, they'll just immediately hit it as if it's the worst thing in the game. And it is pretty powerful to see what the enemy has, but we're not really going to be able to fight the enemy at all. So it's not really a major concern. Ah. Interesting to see an ATGM group moving out like that. Alright, we will see enemy units soon. Especially from the Daejeon sector. And I really would like some sort of large tank push just so we can cut down on their tank forces. That's really going to make them a lot easier to tackle if we can get rid of their tanks. The large number of tanks, if we can get rid of them, we can easily bomb everything else. Support vehicles, we can use seed aircraft if we... I think actually we do have access to that from the aircraft carrier, so we do have some time left in this battle. We can now start calling out artillery with a few K5-11s. It's actually really good we didn't have the FOB out. We needed that the extra points. 25 millimeters are ready to strike everywhere. The enemy's not spotted yet. I'm surprised to see that. The only time I'd really like to use those 106 millimeters, and they would be in a good position, but we can't use them. AA is going to be needed, though it's a little too late. Much too little, much too late. We'll speed it up to very fast now, since we're going to be holding in more of a defensive pattern now. And again, the enemy is just—it's really like a tsunami versus a pebble. But we can at least slow that tsunami down if we try to hold on hard enough to the ocean floor. So we just got to kind of lock down. So no enemy unit spotted at Charlie yet. Naval units, I should say. Hey, look at that. Just everything in the world just falling on us. 70 napalm planes and that F.A.Q group firing from there. I'm hoping that we do see an enemy... look at all that. That is just insane. Oh, here comes all the goodies. Alright, it's time to slow on down. By the time we get there, it's going to be too late for a lot of these forces. Really panicked the hell out of them, though. One of the tows was just self-destructed. There's no way they could have destroyed that. No way at all. Those damn BT... oh, wait a minute. AA coming in. Or aircraft, rather. Okay, Recon really doing a great job here. Autocannon von Bismarck really told us well. This is a 90mm autocannon. For as fast as that thing is firing? Damn. Wow. Raptor uses Korean recon. It's super effective. Alright, we'll call that tow back then. This is really what's killing him here, is the range. The big amount of range we've got here is a real benefit to us. But those BTRAs are going to cut through those recon in just a second. There you go. Now you're starting to see a deep cut. And we're not talking about an old Kenny Rogers album. No, no. Now at range, the KAF-A or V has the advantage here, but the BTRs now, with the close range, have the advantage. We have 20 millimeters. I'm not sure exactly what those units have. Igla detected. Enemy command could possibly be if was it killed? Did we find a command? I'm not sure. It sounds like something's on fire. They sure hauled ass out of there. Oh, laws are down. We may have actually cleared Naval Sector Charlie. Hot diggity damn. Let's try to capture it with infantry. Alright, we do have our Fiats coming now. Tows are going to pull back instead. Wow, Fiats just boop, 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 boop. Alright, let's put our tows in town then. Igla troops are trying to engage the best thing they've got there is the Igla group that's moving over there. I may as well try to use artillery now on them. Wow. Autocannon recon really effective. Of course, they're swarming in on the troops now. Yeah, that's. We'll try to get them. KM 9000, no need for that now. So sad. Almost got through. Our toes are in a real good position. Oh, come on, Fiat. There you go. That was kind of ridiculous. Alright, let's move this recon unit up. Alright, we're actually holding really well. Could end in a draw. TO-55s are hauling ass, though. That one tow, there it is. Well, the enemy lost Charlie, which means a slowdown to their income. We'll call up our 25 millimeters to assist. Wow, those Fiats are just kicking ass. Too bad we don't have any more of those. I'm gonna repair this one here. 25 millimeters or Oscar Grouch. Toes are getting ready to fire at BTRs. Really? Wow, the autocannon's just so impressive here. Amazing. Holding with 320 points remain in our holdout budget. This is actually going quite well. Ah, never mind. Well, we got friendly artillery coming in. They've kind of opted to stun themselves. I brought those KF-25s too far out. Far out, man. Little smoke screen there, really effective on getting their units close. Damn, our toes are firing a little too prematurely at those units, but I'd rather have them fire and miss than not fire at all and lose out on a score. Oh my god, look at these Fiats. Oh my god, I am buying a Fiat 500. That is amazing. K-55s haven't even fired yet, but, or yeah, well they have, but they're going to keep the barrage up, I think. We're going to fire up here instead now. And instead of supplying them, we're just going to keep calling out more and more of them. And I'm going to actually get this command unit to height, because I'm scared about that. Let's bring them closer under our protection. Counter artillery coming in on our units. Alright, we're going to repair back at these K511s. And it looks like the enemy's getting right close to our artillery. Alright, we'll bring the 90mm up. These are amphibious, so they can go across any sort of water. So this is the perfect area for them. BTR 60Ps. Wow, look at that. Detract and optical failure. Those have got to be T-55s. These Fiats are now elite, by the way. Oh, if we could capture the ZIL cargo. Oh, man. There's got to be more tanks around, though. We've got to make sure we can kill them. We need those cargo trucks. F5. Wow, napalm. Artillery hits on our command. Luckily, we've got a backup if they get through. Alright, I'm going to have to make the executive decision to retreat with the Fiats now. TO-55s are too close, and we're low on ammo. .25mm are ready. Artillery's ready on the bridge as well. So we'll go ahead and start hitting it. And they're just tracking everything we've got. The Fiat, one of them is down now. I don't want those toes to move at all. Nothing can get across the bridge. Recoilless rifles can come on over. Boy, they want those dead so bad. Fire, artillery, tanks. Just keep backing up, boys. Just keep backing up. One of them's gonna die. Trying to go balls deep now. 3 minutes left in the hold. Okay. Well, this should be it. They need 190 points. Cray ATGMs coming out from everywhere. What the hell is this? An enemy command? Are they high? Alright, unfortunately we gotta fire at these cargo trucks if we can. All that to drop on a TOW 2 that they found with the command. Can you believe that? wouldn't be surprised if those guys just broke off because they were about to do the same. 60-point aircraft down. Get that useless command out of there, or that useless recon out of there. Or the KM-9000 rather, the transport for the infantry, the command infantry. Alright, so now it's just going to be artillery for the remainder of the game. It's just like multiplayer. They've fallen onto our defenses, and now here comes all the boom booms. They'll never get past those 106s. They have to break, they have to actually punch through them. Alright, 46 seconds remain. If we take another loss, we're dead. Multitude of enemy transports were just obliterated. And Insta-Akkard is coming in on that cave. Oh, okay, it's just smoke. Okay, well, with 27 seconds left, we're just going to go ahead and avoid everything the enemy's got. Bong shoot. Bong shoot. Oh my god. Amazing. We're holding on the bridge. 6 seconds left. We're just going to pull back to make sure. Recon and blocking, and that is it. We actually held. Though actually we didn't capture that one zone at the end, but still ends in a draw, which if I were the computer, I'd say complete BS. You're going to see situations like that where when you're playing and the enemy's on the run like that, and it's like, well, unfortunately, Kim Jong-un did have his foot still in the combat area, so we did lose the engineer battalion. Damn. Go okay on that, but Seoul holds for another day, and it's time for us to return to the crunch. I'll see you guys later. Crunchitize me, Captain. Keep your passwords and pimp hands strong. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.